Move aside Aaron Rodgers because there's bigger news on the horizon, and not really even on the horizon. It's literally here. And of course, you guys probably already seen it like an hour or two ago. I was debating on if I wanted to upload anything about it. And I was like, you know what? It's actually a pretty big deal. I want to talk about it. Of course, we know now that Russell Wilson is officially a Denver Bronco. Of course, the whole talks of the offseason well, not even offseason, but during the season, is Russell Wilson actually wanting a trade? You know, there's rumors, and how are they getting names out of him about what teams he'd be willing to go to if he actually doesn't want to trade? Obviously, there was talks about Denver trying to get Rodgers. That didn't end up happening. I remember seeing something about I wouldn't say it was too rich, but they just weren't interested anymore or something like that. Obviously, you could see here, it's not like at first, my first, thought is terrible, stupid trade. Why would Seattle do that? And then I remembered, okay, well, to be fair, assuming one of those first round picks is pick 9, which you have to assume, pick 9 is a very high pick. It is a very, very high pick. The question is this the year you would draft a quarterback? I don't know. Of course, they do get Drew Lock's back. Well, not back, but they get a quarterback. In this case, I don't really know if I like that. Noah Fant, of course, finally started to get going. Definitely the best of the 3 players there, if you will. Those 2 first-round picks obviously play a huge factor. That pick 9 specifically, that is the big bulk of this trade, without a doubt, is pick 9. Without Denver being in the top even 15, if they were like pick 20, you would see more first-round picks. Maybe Jerry Jeudy would be a part of this. Somebody else would be a part of this. Because really, I'm not sure why they would say, thanks for Shelby Harris real quick. Drew Lock even, why? I'd be calling up Baltimore, hey, can I get Tyler Huntley? Let's get some read options rolling. I don't know, but I just think that it was more of a sense that Russell probably didn't want to play there, which if that's the case, really good job by Seattle keeping that under wraps, because I didn't really hear anything about like him not wanting to play there. He was just a little upset by the talent and the way that, things are, running and the way things are going. Obviously, the injury obviously was unfortunate for him. Never really played the way we're expecting Russell Wilson to play. Not that he was bad by any means, but he definitely didn't play as well as normal. But he will be joining a team with a lot more talent in the receiving game, obviously. The offensive line, which is sad to think because, Denver's offensive line isn't crazy good, but it's miles better than Seattle. All these Seattle fans, I'm not trying to get on you because, it is what it is. Like, I would be very, defensive if people were talking about Russell being traded and all these things. But I remember saying that, once Seattle loses Russell, if they actually were to trade him, they become one of the worst teams in the league. I got a lot of crap for that. I mean, we're going to see, I suppose, the pick 9, you would think could be a quarterback. Will the trade of Russell Wilson make quarterbacks go even higher than they're supposed to? Because it kind of seemed like it was like, okay, Carolina, they're probably going to, maybe take a quarterback at 6, who knows? And maybe later in the first, things will happen. But will we start to see a panic of trade-ups now that Seattle obviously has a quarterback need and they're all the way up at 9 out of nowhere? No one really expected something like this. I mean, this was kind of crazy. Obviously, the AFC West is nutso mode now with quarterbacks in general. The Raiders, obviously, I would say become the worst team technically. Once again, Denver was kind of that team that was just missing a quarterback to really truly compete. We obviously know who the Chiefs are. The Chargers are obviously a really good team. Speaking of the Chargers, they got Mike Williams back. I think it was like a 3-year 62, I can't remember, something like that. Chris Godwin was tagged by the Buccaneers. The Packers tagged Devontae Adams, obviously. I did also see the tweet from Rodgers that said something about nothing's for sure yet, but he is re-signing. So that number could be a lot lower, hopefully. I don't understand how that happens, though. Once again, jumping the gun, where does the 4-year, $200 million, 153 guaranteed come from? I don't get it. I don't know if Rodgers is going to negotiate because, obviously that wasn't 100% set in stone because obviously, he didn't re-sign it. But Imagine he negotiates just to make all these jump the gun reporters look stupid. But I suppose Pat McAfee was quote unquote, like they said that he was the guy that broke the news. But like I said, when I made that video a little earlier today, I was talking about how Pat was like, this isn't true, pal. This is false. And everyone just kind of assumed it was true because nothing really happened for a while. But yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Quarterback situations are shaking up. I would say I feel bad for San Fran. I don't even know how much they were in the market for one of these veteran quarterbacks. So once again, they used a very high and a trade-up pick on Trey Lance. And you like to see what you can get out of him, see what, happens there. But with the Niners team, it really does feel like you even put Kirk Cousins in there, and there's a good chance that they're one of the Super Bowl contenders. That team is really, really well coached, and it's just a good squad of players. And I'd imagine because they're going to be losing Jimmy Garoppolo or getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo in some sort of trade, maybe get a third off of him or something, that they'll be in pretty good cap situation. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe they try to make a play, but I really don't know what quarterbacks are really left. Like I said, maybe Kirk Cousins is a potential trade piece, but I thought it was all fully guaranteed. I just hear his name a lot, which is, once again, a little surprising, but obviously I think Mike Gesicki was tagged, and there was a couple of other tags, nothing crazy. I think the Browns tagged Njoku. I mean, he's a decent blocker, but I just don't see the tag for him at all, to be honest. But obviously, this is really crazy news. I always thought it was just kind of like, maybe Seattle, maybe Russell Wilson's, I wouldn't say pulling a Rodgers, but he's kind of, throwing feelers out there like, I don't know, I'm a little unhappy. Be real nice if somebody around here, I don't know, drafted a lineman or something. But of course, the big thing that you're going to be looking at with this is the direct comparison for the Jamal Adams trade, because you're basically saying Jamal Adams is almost worth Russell Wilson because of what they traded for him, and they ended up giving up a pretty damn high pick to the Jets. So there's going to be absolute tons of pressure on all of these picks. You almost have to assume, whether they believe in Drew Lock, they don't like any of the quarterbacks, that one has to be a quarterback, just because otherwise it's like, okay, with pick 9 or whatever, you end up taking a guard or something, and then the second, your second round pick, you take like a DT, like a run stopping DT. It's like, okay, so you get rid of Russell Wilson, your best quarterback ever, Hall of Fame guy, for a guard and a DT. At best, they become the best at their position ever. It's still like, okay, I don't know. Also, I don't know who this Dave guy is, but like, it's not even the same guy. It's two completely different people. Russell's like got a whole nother decade of football potentially in him. It's completely different. And once again, we're looking at this haul like, if Packers could get this for Rodgers, fair enough. But I assume Denver's offer, which I imagine they did offer on Rodgers, was less than this. Who knows if Noah Fant was even involved, and it might have just been 1 first and 1 second. Like, and it might not even have been pick 9 for all we know. Like, we don't know how these behind closed doors trades go. They could have 2 trades offers going in at one time, like a Madden franchise, and choosing the best one to go through with. But I just can't imagine it was even close to this for Rodgers. Even though he won back-to-back MVPs, it's just Russell has more of a future, right? He's still got plenty of time left to play. But this is going to be interesting. I was thinking, the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about this, whether it's, selfish or not, is how does this affect Madden franchise? Is one of these teams a team that I want to use now? I don't know. I don't think so. I think maybe Seattle, but the problem with that is Noah Fant is broken in Madden. DK Metcalf is broken in Madden. Lockett's still there. He's pretty good in Madden. I just think you add Noah Fant and Metcalf together on Madden, and it's just very hard to stop no matter who the quarterback is. Pick 9 could be like Malik Willis, which would just be even more broken. I need a team that sucks hard, and Denver without Russell Wilson could have been one of those guys, one of those teams, but obviously we were just the Raiders. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the situation. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of this. Like I said, if you follow me on Twitter, you see the one notification there. I looked at all the other ones. I posted about it saying how a massive L it was. it is a massive L, but once again, just like the Rodgers situation with the numbers, which could be completely different. Maybe it's way higher, maybe it's way lower. We don't know the full story. Once again, if Russell Wilson was just absolutely sick of the team, I'm sick of running for my life, I'm sick of my career being cut short here because of all the hits. If that's the case, then there's not really much you can do in general for that regardless. And then 2, once again, it is pick 9. Noah Fant is a good piece. Drew Lock, he's serviceable, kind of. Shelby Harris is just completely irrelevant. Not that he's a bad player, but if you're talking about trading Russell Wilson, that means you're in rebuild mode, and Shelby Harris isn't a rebuild piece, simply put. The 2 for second-round picks could be, halfway decent, I suppose. I always think it's funny. I don't know if there's, like, some rule about it, but why is there always, like, it's so lopsided. It's like, okay, Denver's given up this for Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick. Like, did that 4th-round pick really need to exist? Could they not have just removed the 5th-round giveaway or something? I don't understand. Like, why does that always happen? It's just so weird. But I suppose the other quarterback that I was forgetting about with San Fran is they could go for Deshaun Watson. I don't know the situation there. Is he ever going to play again? I heard reports that, like, that he technically wasn't even suspended last year and the Texans just didn't play him or something like that. I don't even know. But obviously, that's a whole nother story. Will we hear news about him soon? I don't know. But obviously, it's that kind of season. It's not too far removed from the Super Bowl, but the things are getting wild, right? The quarterback situations are getting wild. And man, is the NFC looking pretty easy to win right now. I'm just going to say it. Pretty easy. I mean, there's not many good quarterbacks left, but we'll see. Maybe Deshaun comes to San Fran, makes the NFC look a little bit better. But regardless, thanks for watching. I was going to post another video today that wasn't NFL news related, but I think even if the videos just suck on viewership, especially since how late I'm posting them compared to the actual news drop, I'm just going to leave these 2 up. Tomorrow could be a rebuild of the Broncos or the Seahawks, perhaps. Maybe, I mean, something probably along the lines of Russell Wilson and, Denver or Seattle related. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video,